Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rob Gantz. I'm here with LEBCO Sports Live here for this spring baseball matchup between the visiting Lebanon Cedars and the home ELCO Raiders. We are live from Lyle Crawl Field here in Myerstown. It is windy today. Wind is blowing out to about left center field. Has the potential for the ball to fly. It is a little bit chillier, though. We have 320 as the distance to straightaway left, 360 to left center, 380 is dead center, and then 360 to right center, and 320 to right field. This is a matchup today between the 0-3 Lebanon Cedars, and they are visiting the 1-3 ELCO Raiders. So one team's going to get another win here. Maybe Lebanon will get there first. We'll see how it goes. We do have Diego Serrano on the mound for Lebanon today. He is holding opponents to a 176 batting average so far in the early season. And then they have the lineup. Cookie Rojas is batting first, playing center field. Diego Serrano, as I mentioned, is pitching, batting second. Justin Miranda batting third, playing shortstop. Kaylor Ortiz is batting cleanup and playing first base. Ryan Rivera is batting fifth and playing third base. In the sixth hole, we have Micah Kraus playing left field. Seventh is Luis Reyes catching. Hene Cortez is in right field and batting eighth. And then in the nine hole, we have Gianni Arndt, and he's playing second base. And like I said, we are in Myerstown. In the home team, ELCO, we have Wyatt Parker is on the mound today for ELCO. He has pitched 3 innings so far this season. He did give up 8 earned runs in those 3 innings, and his opponents are batting .500 off of him so far this year. For their lineup, they have Tanner Hipschman in the leadoff, batting shortstop. Tice Boyers batting second in right field. Austin Smith playing third base and batting third. Braden Gettle is first baseman, batting cleanup. Isaac Tanger is catching, batting fifth. Wyatt Parker, as I mentioned, is on the hill, batting sixth. Zach Martin's at second, batting seventh. Queston Rivera is in center field, batting eighth. And then Grant Wanger is in left field, and he is batting ninth. So it is going to be an interesting game today. We'll see how the teams fare with the wind. You can see they're at home plate right now, exchanging lineup cards, shaking hands, letting everybody know the captain's saying good game, as we often do before games here. We are excited for this matchup. We're excited to be able to bring spring sports to you here on LEBCO Sports Live, and also this game is also on Facebook today and being brought to you by the YG Productions team. They're an excellent team for anything that you want to do, live streaming events or any big events that you want a good production team for. YG Productions is your crew. We are going to get started here momentarily. We're going to hear the national anthem play, and they are exchanging lineup cards again. The umpires cleaning off the plate, getting ready to go. And we will be back with you very quickly to get this game underway.
Thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. LEBCOsports.com is your headquarters for all things Lebanon County sports. scores, recaps, and stories behind the athletes and teams you care about the most. When the final buzzer sounds, head over to LEBCOsports.com and catch up on everything you might have missed. Then, make sure you follow along for what's coming next.
All right, we are back with you live here at Myerstown as they're just finishing up introducing the home ELCO Raiders. They're taking the field. We're going to get ready for the national anthem. So we will stand by so that we can hear the anthem, and then we will get ready to start this action. All right, so we just heard the national anthem. We are getting ready to start this matchup, like I said, between the Lebanon Cedars and the ELCO Raiders. We do have Wyatt Parker on the mound. Like I said, he's had a rough start to the beginning of this campaign, giving up 8 earned runs in the 3 innings that he has pitched. We'll see if he can get that settled and calm down a little bit today on their home field as he's taking his warm-up throws here to Isaac Tanger behind the plate. Interesting to note about Wyatt Parker is he actually just came over to ELCO this year. He moved from Lebanon, and he's new to this roster. And also from Lebanon, Coach Kreiser was on the Lebanon staff until he took this job 3 years ago. And interestingly enough, his dad is still on the Lebanon staff, so we'll see how that plays a factor in today's game, if it does at all, going up against your dad. And also, Wyatt Parker's brother was a state medalist in swimming, is currently enrolled at St. Bonaventure, where he is taking part of their swimming program. So there are a lot of athletes out here on this field. We know we hear about them in other sports, and it's exciting to be able to watch them in their spring sports. And we'll be out here today with you live for the whole game. We have 4 cameras that we'll be using throughout the game, so you'll get a lot of different angles of the action. Excited to bring it to you today. Like I said, it's part of LEBCO Sports Live, brought to you by YG Productions. And this Lebanon team, as they're getting ready to come up to bat, in their 4 games, they've struggled. They've only gotten 5 hits that have been recorded on the season, and they're all on the first 3 batters. So Cookie Rojas leading off, batting right and playing center field. He's starting the year off with a 125 batting average. So we'll see how that goes today. First pitch swinging. Gets over to shortstop. Nice diving play by Hipschman. Tries to get over to first. Gettle comes off the bag. The ball gets behind him. But that is a hit there for Cookie Rojas to start the game. They came out first pitch swinging. And what I was going to say is something's got to give. If we have a team struggling to hit, but also a pitcher that's been allowing a lot of hits, we could see some hitters getting some hits, or maybe the pitcher will find his groove and slow things down. But Diego now going up against his pitcher counterpart, Wyatt Parker. Diego is batting .500 on the season to start. First pitch strike, looked right down the middle. Nice pitch there by Parker. Like I said, it is a windy day. His hat just fell off there. We could see the ball carry if somebody gets a hold of it. From the stretch, delivers. Look to bunt, was out in front, did keep the bunt down, so it is a called strike. Brings the count to 0-2 for Diego Serrano. Again, Parker's out of the stretch. Looks for the runner. Delivers. Runner goes as the ball got past Tanger. Does advance to second. Didn't need to slide. That one was a ball. So we now have a 1-2 count with a runner on second base. Out of the stretch. Serrano lays off of that one. It's a little bit low, brings the count even 2-2 now with Rojas on second base. Got a little speed there, unscoring position. Now if Serrano can find the outfield somewhere, there's a chance to get on the board early. He swings through the fastball. That's a strikeout. First out of the game is via the strikeout. So now we have one man on second. Justin Miranda playing shortstop coming up now, batting third, and he is batting .167 on the season, also batting right-handed. Parker again from the stretch. Caught the bottom half of the zone there as strike one is the call. Looked to be a similar position, but that time the umpire called it a ball, so it's a little low there. So it is a 1-1 count here. Parker's out of the stretch again, eyeing Rojas at second to keep him there. He is keeping the ball low in the zone. Looks like he's looking for a ground ball here from Miranda. Doesn't want it up in the air to advance the runner. Ground ball, and he can hold the runner in place before getting the out at first. But it is now a 2-1 count because he's staying low. Swings through, that one fouled back. That one was also low, may have been ball three had he left it. So it's an even count, 2-2. Parker looking to get out of this with minimal damage. If he can avoid any damage at all, that would be great. Looking for the sign from Tanger. He's got it, looks back. Looks again. Steps off to keep Rojas in place. May have been that he wanted to keep him in place. Maybe he wasn't comfortable with the pitch selection, so gives him a chance to reset. From the stretch, delivers. Ball bounces in front of the plate, brings it to a full count, 3-2 now. Good at bat here from Miranda as he got a called strike one right away. Then he looked off two balls, swung through one foul. Now it worked at full. As like I said, Parker's been low this whole at bat. Foul back. He brought that one up a little bit more. So he stays alive, fights that one off. Still 0-0 in the first. Parker delivers. Payoff pitch. He goes down looking backwards. K in the scorebook. Excellent pitch there by Parker. So there's two outs in this inning, both via the strikeout. And now Kaylor Ortiz, first baseman, comes up batting cleanup. He does not have any hits on the season, hoping he can get his first, and he's left-handed here going up against the righty. That was a little high. It was at the letters of the jersey. That is ball one. It was a very promising inning with the leadoff batter getting on base his first pitch, but Parker has battled back. That was a little bit lower than the first one. That one is a strike right there in the zone. Brings the count to 1-1. That ball is high. So it is now a 2-1 count. Almost looked like a little bit of a pitch out because he brought Tanger completely out of his stance on that one. Maybe they thought Rojas was going to move and they wanted to keep him at second. Ball is low, brings the count 3-1. Ortiz, 3-1 count. Did get the signs from a third base coach. My guess is probably going to take this one here. No need to help out a pitcher who's been a little bit out of the zone today so far. He did take it. He thought it was a ball, but the umpire did call strike. So now it's a full count. Everything is on the table here. Whether Parker can find the zone, he's going to make Ortiz swing at it. And Ortiz swings through it, strikes out the side after that opening first hit on the first pitch to get 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking. So there's 1 hit, no runs, no errors. That will bring the top half of the first to a close, and we'll be right back with the bottom half. But at our camera from behind the mound, right behind home plate, you can see we do have it set up nicely through the chain link. Gives a little bit of a different perspective. It's really good for these warm-ups so you can see Diego Serrano on the mound, see the velocity that he has, and a little bit of the placement. Like I said, batters are kind of struggling against him. They are only batting 176 against him so far this season, and he has pitched 4 innings, has 3 hits. He did give up 7 runs, so there must have been a little. He did have 6 walks, so he does struggle to stay in the zone sometimes, but he does have a little bit of power. So we'll be able to see if he's able to find the zone today. ELCO's hitters do hit the ball, though. Their leadoff batter, Tanner Hipschman, he's batting 400. And then Tice Boyer batting second. He's batting 333. And then third baseman, Austin Smith, is batting 143. So those are the guys that he's guaranteed to see here in the first inning. We'll take a look, see if they come up swinging like Lebanon did on their first at-bats. We're just going to watch a little bit of these warm-ups before we get back to the action. He does have some power, so if he gets a hold of one and it carries, could carry for a while. Serrano holding. Ball once, that's now 5 straight balls from Serrano. Holding Boyer on first. He's got a decent lead over there. Looks like he might try to run. There he goes. Ball gets behind the catcher, so no throw. Excellent stolen base there by Tice Boyer. He had it read. He was on time with that, and it did go behind the catcher for ball number 2. Luis Reyes, that one was a little low. I think he was wanting to pop up quick to get the throw and just did not have the ball. So now it is 2-0, but 6 straight balls. So I don't know if I'd take the bat off the shoulder right now. Boyer with a decent lead. Second baseman pops back over trying to hold him on. Ooh, that ball hit him right in the elbow. Serrano goes to check on him, make sure he's okay. It's going to sting, especially on a cold day. It's going to hurt a little bit more. Now we have runners on first and second, 1 out. And first baseman Braden Gettle coming up to bat. So here we go, first baseman Braden Gettle. On the season, he's batting .308. Austin Smith still trying to shake out that elbow down there. Like I said, it is cold out. When you get hit, it is chilly. Right now, I know our count is showing that it's a 2-0 count. It will reset. It is 0-0. There we go. Just so you guys know, it is a new count here with Braden Gettle coming up the bat. Holding Boyer on second. Out of the stretch. Got a strike. He needed that one after 7 straight balls. Good pitch there. Way to rebound. So we have Boyer on second, Smith on first after being hit by that pitch in the arm. Holding Boyer on. We have both the shortstop and second baseman holding Boyer on. Nice stab behind the plate there by Luis Reyes to keep that in front with the glove. It is a ball, but if that would have went past him, we would have had guys second and third easily. So nice play by the catcher. Ropes one foul down the left field line and out of play. He was out in front of that one, but he had a good contact. So now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes after that foul ball that went out of play down towards the ELCO bullpen. Ball gets by. Runners easily advancing to second and third. Brings the count to 2-2 with 2 guys in scoring position now. So we had a strikeout for Hipschman to start the inning. Tice Boyer walked on 4 straight pitches. And then after 2 balls, Austin Smith got hit in the elbow. Braden Gettle with a chance to break this one open early if he puts this ball in the outfield. Nice play by the shortstop, throws over to first. Runner is out, but we do have a run on the board. There's Tice Boyer did score, but nice play by Justin Miranda to keep that runner at second and minimize the damage. So we do have an RBI for Braden Gettle as he grounded out. The 6-3 on the play. Brings up catcher Isaac Tanger. He's batting .231 for this season. We have a stolen base there by Austin Smith. Makes his way to third. So here we go, 1-0 ELCO. Runner on third. Tanger batting with the count 1-0. That's a nice steal by Austin Smith, because if the ball gets by the catcher, which it has a couple times this inning, he now has a chance to score and make this a 2-run game early on. Tanger brushed off the plate there. That almost caught him. Now 3-0 count. Again, I'd be taking all day. No need. Don't help out a pitcher if they're struggling to find the zone. Found the zone there. It's 3-1 now after that pitch. Out of the stretch, delivers. Tanger pokes it through. Oh, Miranda had to go off the heel of his glove, couldn't control it. Tanger gets to first base. Another run scored there for ELCO as Austin Smith was running on contact. So after the error for the third shortstop, Isaac Tanger is on first base with the count the score 2-0 in favor of ELCO here in the bottom half of the first. Sorry, you're cold. We got Wyatt Parker, the pitcher, batting now. Ball is low and outside, ball 1. Serrano's holding Tanger on first. Ball's up. Left fielder's looking for it, struggling to find it in the wind. Goes over his head. He lost it with the wind. And we have a score there for ELCO now, 3-0 after Wyatt Parker there puts it out into left field. Ball, like I said, is going to carry in the wind. It's hard to see where it's going. That one got lost by Micah Kraus out in left field, went over his head, brings the run all the way around. Brings it now to 3-0 in favor of ELCO. And that run was scored by Ethan Cook. He substitute ran there for Isaac Tanger as the catcher so that he could get ready to go. And we now have Brinley Dunmoyer out running for Wyatt Parker, the pitcher, so that he can get ready as well for the upcoming inning when he'll be on the hill. Batting now, Zach Martin, second baseman. He has a batting average of .071 on the season, looking to get some hits here early. Ball is high. They have 2 balls, no strikes to Zach Martin. With Dunmoyer on second, had a good lead. You can hear the coach. We're settled nicely right near the third baseline. We hear third base coach telling him, get a little more, get a little more. Get that secondary lead once you see the pitchers in the stretch. Martin swings through that one for the first strike of the at-bat, brings the count to 2-1. Zach Martin's at the plate. Coach just told Dunmoyer second to go on contact with 2 outs. That is the play. Count is now 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Ball 4. Ball got by the catcher, but the runner didn't move, so it is a walk for Zach Martin. Second walk of the inning. So now we have Dunmoyer on second, Zach Martin on first, and center fielder Queston Rivera is coming off the bat, number 27. He is batting .091 on the season so far. Serrano out of the stretch. Runners on first and second. Brushed him off the plate there, so ball 1. So we are struggling to find the zone here for Serrano right now. He's really hoping to get out of this inning, only giving up 3 if he can. Out of stretch delivers. Found the zone there. Nice pitch right down the middle. Rivera was taking. Stretch keeping Dunmoyer on. High and inside again. Ball 2. 2-1's the count. Just taking a second to gather himself. He's thrown a lot of pitches this inning. So we are at the 8th batter of the inning that he's faced. Pop up in the infield. Wind is blowing. First baseman calls second baseman. They didn't know who had it. It fell down in between them. It is a run scored as Dunmoyer was going on contact, got all the way home, and Zach Martin was running, made it all the way to third. Like I said, that ball was up in the air, and the wind is going to play a factor all day. Kaylor Ortiz and Gianni Arndt couldn't figure out who was going to take it, and it fell in between them. So Queston Rivera's on first. Zach Martin's on third, and Brinley Dunmoyer scored as he was running for Wyatt Parker. Bringing the score now 4-0 in favor of ELCO here in the bottom of the first with runners on the corners. Runner goes. Runner's running home. He did make it home. Zach Martin did beat out the throw. It is tough here to run when the ball gets past the catcher because there's the hard wood behind home plate. So that bounced back to the catcher. They almost had a play, but they didn't quite make that. And Queston Rivera did make his way over to second. So now we have another runner in scoring position. And that play probably got started when Rivera did steal. It's a typical move when you have runners on the corners. The guy on first steals, makes the catcher make a decision. Do you try to throw it or do you make sure that runner at third stays? And I think Reyes wanted to throw and popped up and the ball went behind him. So now it's a 2-0 count for Grant Wanger. The runner on second score is 5-0 in favor of ELCO. So runner on second. Queston Rivera made his way over there. Wanger batting with a 3-0 count. Who's taking all day? That's a strike. 3-1. The leadoff hitter Tanner Hishman on the on-deck circle. Blues low. High ball 4. Grant Wanger walks. He's on first, so now we have Wanger on first. Rivera on second. We are back to Tanner Hipschman. And again, you can hear the coaches saying, crack of the bat, get moving. On contact with 2 outs base. Ball's up. Second baseman's under it. Ball falls down as the wind again just keeps carrying. It makes it really hard for these fielders as Gianni Arndt thought he was under it, and then the wind kept taking it and kept taking it. Wanger makes it all the way over to third. Rivera scores. And Tanner Hishman is on first. After that hit out. So in this inning so far, that's 6 runs scored by ELCO. They've had 3 walks, a hit batsman, and a couple balls that they've hit into the air. And on a day like today, you want to do that. You want to get the ball into the air because the wind is just wreaking havoc for these fielders. They think they're under it, and then the wind takes it. The wind dies down a little bit, so then they overrun it. It's just been a struggle for them out there so far. Like I said, brings the score 6-0 here in the bottom of the first. There has been a pitching change. Diego Serrano is coming over to third base. Micah Kraus has come in from left field to now. We will get all those changes for you. Had a couple of switches as positions were moving as we are trying to get things situated. We still have Justin Miranda out at short. Diego Serrano is now over in third. Micah Kraus is now pitching. Kayla Ortiz is still over at first. Ryan Rivera has moved from third base over to second base, so he's getting some warm-up action as well. Reyes still behind the plate. And then it looks like Gianni Arndt may have moved out to right field. Sorry, guys. I know there's a lot of changes there. I'm trying to get everything caught up because we do have helicopter flying overhead. It's always one of the cool things about being in Lebanon County is Fort Indiantown Gap. It's not that far away, so you do have a lot of military aircraft that fly overhead. Sometimes you'll see the Apaches. Sometimes there's a Chinook out. Every now and then you might see a C-130 overhead. You hear the noise of the propeller airplanes. Fun fact about the C-130, when I was in the Air Force, I used to fly on C-130, so I flew active duty in Abilene, Texas, and then for a little bit in the Pennsylvania Air National Guard out of Middletown. So you don't see those as frequently in this area because they fly out of Middletown. We do have the Chinooks and the Apaches that will take off out of Fort Indiantown Gap, so you will see those overhead in Lebanon County a lot more during spring sports season and fall sports. They're still working on getting Micah Kraus warmed up here. We have a lefty coming in, so it could change how the lineup hits a little bit, going with the lefty now. There weren't a lot of lefties in the ELCO lineup. I believe actually they were all right-handers, so it doesn't impact it as much because it's harder to hit a lefty if you're a lefty. So we got some lefties on righties now. Tice Boyer, right fielder's back up. He walked his first at bat and ended up scoring. So we'll see if he is coming up swinging or if he is going to keep the bat on his shoulder again. It was high. If you're watching the warm-ups for Micah Kraus, he was pitching high a lot during his warm-ups there. So they may take a couple here to see if he can get it down in the zone or not. I was down in the zone a little bit inside, so 2 balls. Tice Boyer, like I said before today, batting .333 on the season. That average stays the same since he walked his first at bat. Ball gets behind the catcher. Wanger's running. Didn't have a throw as the ball did not hit that wood behind home plate, so Grant Wanger was alive and ready when that ball went past the catcher. We did have Tanner Hipsham move up to second on that passed ball. So it is now 7-0 in favor of ELCO. And it is a 3-0 count for Tice Boyer. It looks like he may end up walking again and then working his way around the base path if he can do it. Elevated, walked on 4 pitches. Austin Smith coming up again. If you remember earlier in this inning, he was hit by the pitch on the left elbow. He's wearing an elbow guard. Probably a little sore after that with it being chilly and windy today. Ball is up and out of the zone again for ball 1. Out of the stretch. Ball's up in the infield. Second baseman is under it, and that one is caught. Nice play by the new second baseman, Ryan Rivera, to end the inning. It was a tough inning, though, for the Cedars as they had 7 runs scored against them. So it is 7-0 as we're heading to the top half of the second. We will start this inning with Ryan Rivera and then Micah Kraus and then Luis Reyes, the catcher, batting for Lebanon. It's been a long time since Wyatt Parker was out on the mound. He'll need to warm up a little bit here after that. And if you remember, he gave up a single on the first pitch of the game, and then he had 3 straight strikeouts. The first one was swinging, the second one was looking, and then the third one was swinging by Kayla Ortiz. So like I said, we have Ryan Rivera, who started the game at third base, is now playing second. He's leading off. Then Micah Kraus, who started the game in left field, is now pitching. And then Luis Reyes, the catcher, will be batting third this inning. If they get to it, Henny Cortez moved from right field to left. He'll be batting fourth this inning if they get there. And then Gianni Arndt went from second base to right field, and he'll bat fifth if they get to 5 batters this inning. We'll just watch Wyatt Parker warm up a little bit here. All right, we're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll be back as Lebanon's getting ready to bat. So Ryan Rivera is coming up to bat here in the top half of the second. First pitch from Parker. Lined out to left field. Nice hit. Wanger gets it, brings it into second base. Runner stays at first. Just like the first inning, first at bat, first pitch, single. So Parker out of the stretch again. Holding Rivera on first. Kraus batting. This is low, ball 1. Squares to bunt. Kept the ball out and kept the bat out. Missed the bunt, so it is strike 1. 1-1 count. Micah Kraus 1-1. Lefty bunting is always a tough task for the fielders because he's a little bit closer to first base. Swings through that pitch. Count is 1-2. Ball's a little bit outside, so it's a 2-2 count now. Parker out of the stretch, keeping Rivera on first. Popped up, coming right at us. Good thing my son's here, he can run those down a little bit. Brings the count still 2-2 after he stayed alive, fouled it off the third base side. Ball is high. That is ball 3. Is the full count. I know you guys can't see it, but from my perspective, I can see. Lebanon does have another pitcher that they are warming up in their bullpen. Looks like the first baseman, Kayla Ortiz, is warming up currently. He's another lefty that they're going to put on the mound. Ball was low there from Parker. Ball 4. So now there's no outs. There's a runner on first and second as Micah Kraus makes his way down to first after the walk, and we still have Ryan Rivera now on second after his single. Luis Reyes, the catcher, is batting. He's a righty. Parker keeping Rivera on second. It is a fair ball down the line. It went right over the bag. Rivera's coming in. We got to play at third. They called him out there. It was a good hustle play there by Micah Kraus, but an excellent throw by Wanger to get it in to Smith and make that play out at third, get the lead runner. However, they did get one run across. Great run by Rivera. Excellent swing and hit by Reyes as it snuck right over that third base bag for the double. Now Henny Cortez batting. He's a little bit inside, ball one. Bunt is laid down, goes foul. That'll be the first strike, so 1-1 count here on Henny Cortez. Luis Reyes on second after his double. Like I said, snuck right over the bag. Wasn't sure what they were going to call, fair or foul. The third base coach helped the umpire and let him know it was foul, and he started waving those runners on right away. This brings the score now 7-1. Parker steps off to keep Reyes on second. From the stretch. Delivers. This looked like they were going to bunt again. Went up over the backstop, so that's strike two. Can't bunt now, because if you bunt and it goes foul, you are out, so they won't be trying to bunt here. So you're going to need to see Cortez swing the bat if he wants to stay alive in the count. Ball two. It's a 2-2 count. One out, 2-2 count. Reyes is on second. Cortez at the plate. Ball gets behind Tanger. Reyes makes his way over to third. It's a full count for Cortez. Runner on third. They're trying to get the middle out. This is ball four there. Cortez will get the walk. So now we have runners on the corner. One of the things that started ELCO's big rally in the first was they had runners on the corner. Guy on first stole. Catcher popped up to make the throw, but it ended up getting by him. Then we got a run scored from third base, and the runner was able to move to second very easily. So now we have runners on the corners. Cortez is on first. Reyes is on third. Gianni Arndt, who started at second base, is now out in right field, currently batting for the Cedars. Strike one there, right down the middle. Parker would love to see a ground ball here, maybe turn a double play to get out of the inning without any other runs scoring. Looks like Tanger's got his glove up high looking for a throw out. He knew the runner was going. Got him out. What an excellent throw from Tanger to Hipschman. Sorry, that was Zach Martin covering, not Hipschman. So second baseman made his way over. Tanger knew he was going to steal because you could see he was elevated. He had his glove up, called for the pitch out. Parker obliged. Tanger threw him out at second without a doubt. now have 2 strikes, so that was even better than a double play as he can get out of this with only giving up 1 run. And he got him out. Strike 3 on the play. Excellent way to end that inning there as Tanger threw out Cortez at second, and then Arndt gets struck out by Parker there to bring the top of the second to a close with the score 7-1 in favor of ELCO. We've had a lot of action in this first inning and a half. We're going to take a look at a couple replays here. So this was Austin Smith getting hit there in that left elbow. As you can see, he did not have the elbow guard on that play, but then he ended up wearing it for the second at bat. So it was a pass ball that he was able to score on, and that was the hit there by Reyes. Beautiful down the third base line. Third baseman Austin Smith couldn't get there, was able to score one. Reyes got to second on the double. So after those replays, we are going to take a short break, as looks like Kaylor Ortiz is warming up right now for Lebanon, so we will have another new pitcher. We'll take a look at what other lineup changes they may have made when we get back.
Thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. LEBCOsports.com is your headquarters for all things Lebanon County sports. Scores, recaps, and stories behind the athletes and teams you care about the most. When the final buzzer sounds, head over to LEBCOsports.com and catch up on everything you might have missed. Then, make sure you follow along for what's coming next.
So like I said, we do have a pitching change as we welcome you back to Lyle Crawl Field here in windy Myerstown today for this matchup between the Lebanon Cedars and the home ELCO Raiders. We do have Kaylor Ortiz now on the mound. This is the third pitcher of the game for the Cedars. It was a rough bottom half of the first inning for them as they walked 3 batters, hit another batter, gave up a couple singles, and then that ball was going up in the air and the wind was just wreaking havoc for the fielders. The ball was going all over the place. You thought you were under it, couldn't get under it, and then it went over the heads. So as this inning progresses, we'll take a look at some of the changes that they've made out in the field. Right now what I can see is we still have Serrano's playing third. Justin Miranda is still at shortstop. Cookie Rojas is now the maybe second baseman, as I'm trying to see where he is headed now. Yeah, so Cookie Rojas, has moved from center to play second base, probably because some of the errors that we had seen made were in the infield and catching the ball with the wind taking a hold of it. So Rojas has moved to second. Ryan Rivera has now moved over to first base. And we have Braden Gettle, first baseman, up to bat. That ball is high in the infield. And a nice play there by Ryan Rivera to get under it. Again, there's a little bit of communication errors trying to figure out who was going to get that one. It was Rivera who got under it then there at the last second, saved it there. Out number 1 quick out, so that is good if you are a Cedars fan. And now we have Isaac Tanger coming up to bat. His first at bat, he hit a pretty hard ground ball that went off the heel of the shortstop's glove, and at that time the shortstop was Justin Miranda. He hit one right off the heel of his glove and got to first base. Ball is low and got behind the catcher. Ball 1. Ball 2, 2-0. Ball 3, 3-0 count here to Tanger. Swings through the off-speed pitch, was pretty far out in front of that one, brings the count to 3-1. Swings through that one, 3-2 count now is full. As Ortiz battles back from being down 3-0 to full count with 1 out. Got him through that one. Catcher did not catch it, so he does have to throw down to first. Does get the out. Strikeout there for Tanger. 2 down here in the bottom half of the second as pitcher Wyatt Parker's coming up to bat. The first inning, he kind of got it started. He hit a high fly ball out to left field that just kept carrying and snuck right over the left fielder's head at the time. Was able to lay off that one, ball 1. Good check swing. Hit another ball out to left field, but that one is going. That was a home run for Wyatt Parker. I thought it was going to go foul, but like I said, you never know what the wind is going to do. It kept it in, snuck right inside the foul pole down there in left field where it is a 320-foot distance there but right over the fence inside the foul pole for a home run there for pitcher Wyatt Parker, helping his own cause. He's congratulated by his team as he entered the dugout there. Excellent swing. Zach Martin, second baseman, is up. Ball 1. Ball 2, 2-0 count. Zach Martin, second baseman. Ball goes right out to Diego Serrano. Nice little line drive there. Good play by Serrano. Only 1 run scored on the inning. It is 8-1 at the end of 2. Take another look here at our behind home plate cameras. We're going to watch Wyatt Parker come back out after hitting his home run and warm up. Usually after guys hit home runs, their adrenaline is flying. As you can see there with that first warm up pitch sailed over the catcher's head. He is just full of adrenaline after hitting that one out of the park. While Wyatt Parker's warming up, we're going to look at our A&J Pizza replay of that home run. Pitch down the plate, you see makes a excellent swing, excellent contact. Left fielder's running after it, running after it. I thought it was going to go foul, but snuck inside the foul pole there by about 12 feet, right over the fence. Here it is from a different angle. There's a swing. He's watching it, watching it. I don't think he knew what he was going to do, and then he realized it went over. You can see him slow down the trot then as he did come out of the box, full tilt, once it went over the fence. Pretty excited as he gets over to third base coach. And then he finishes that trot to help himself out. Now it's an 8-1 lead for ELCO after 2 as we're entering the top half of the third. We are back at the top of the lineup with Cookie Rojas leading off this inning after leading off the game. He did have a single in the first inning as he came out first pitch swinging. Parker out of the windup. Goes. As you can see, this is a good angle as you're looking behind the pitcher. You can see the ball finds the strike zone there. Excellent pitch. It's an 0-2 count. Now 1-2 after that first ball. Looked like it was going to be strike 3, but it is a ball, so it's a 2-2 count. Another ball. He is all over the zone right now, just not finding it. Full count. It's a fly ball, pop up. Excellent play there by second baseman Zach Martin to call off Braden Gettle. So after we work the count full, we have a pop up to the second baseman. Now Diego Serrano's batting. He had a rough outing there on the mound, but was able to come over to third base, make a couple plays as third baseman. So he's settled in nicely. See how he does at the plate. His first at bat, he did strike out. After battling to a 2-2 count, he struck out swinging on pitch number 5. Ball bounces in front of the plate. Nice block there by Tanger to keep it in front of him. 2-0 count. Three and 0 count. I would take all day here. Parker's struggling to find the zone right now. Looked like that ball actually hit him in the leg. It was either going to be ball 4 or hit by pitch, but it did look like it grazed his knees as it looked like his pants wavered a little bit there as it went by. We have shortstop Justin Miranda coming off the bat here. He struck out looking in the first inning. Check out, they're doing a 400-meter dash. First pitches. Looks like it's going to be short. Wanger's coming in on it. He does have it. Nice play by Grant Wanger. Gets it right into Zach Martin. Gets the runner back to first base. See, that one for Wanger didn't get up in the air as much as the ones in the first inning were for the Cedars. And also the wind has died down. Flag is not blowing as quickly or as hard. So that is going to help the fielders a little bit. We have 2 outs, top of the third. Strike 1, just found the zone. Ortiz thought it was a little inside as he kind of took a hop back. Ball 1, 1-1. He's holding the runner on first. Delivers from the stretch, swings through it. Ortiz on that pitch, so it's 1-2 count. Serrano's over on first. Looks like he's gotten a little bit of a bigger lead. Maybe. Oh, there he goes. Tiger throws. Not in time. Stolen base there by Serrano. Oh, but he was out. Okay. So that was interesting. He did steal. It was a 1-2 count, so it may have been a strikeout at home plate to end the inning and not even realizing that that was. So I was watching the steal, and I think I missed the umpire calling strike 3 to end the inning. So it was a strike 3 there for Kaylor Ortiz, his second strikeout of the game, and that brings the strikeout total to 5 strikeouts for Wyatt Parker, who also helped himself by hitting a home run in the bottom half of the second inning. It was a solo home run. So it is 8-1 as we enter the bottom half of the third. We're going to be having Queston Rivera, center fielder, leading off this inning. Then Grant Wanger will be batting second. Then we'll get back to the leadoff man, Tanner Hipschman, as the third hitter of this inning. His first at bat, Queston Rivera had a single. He then ended up scoring later in the inning, I believe after a single by Tanner Hipschman. Nice play by him. So Rivera hasn't had much to do out in the field today as the ball's been staying in the infield for the ELCO defense. They're getting ready to bat here. We still have Kaylor Ortiz on the mound, so he'll be coming out for his second inning of work. He did have a pretty quick inning in the second inning other than that home run by Parker. There was only 4 batters faced. Pop up to the first baseman to strike out the home run, and then a line drive to Diego Serrano at third. So Queston Rivera starting off bottom half of the third. Rivera's entering the box. Ball bouncing in front of the plate. Ball 1. Play by Justin Miranda, throws over to first base. Stayed on the bag. There was Ryan Rivera. Nice play. 6-3 on the putout. Now we have left fielder, Grant Wanger coming up. He had a nice play there to end, or not to end the inning, but the second out of the third inning was a nice run in on the fly ball. Ball gets behind Reyes, the catcher, is inside and low. Ball 1. One and 0 count. Ortiz out of the windup. That's short of the plate. 2-0 is the count for Wanger. Looking down to the third base coach to forget the signs. Swings through that one. Strike 1, 2-1 count. That was high, right out of his hand. You could see that one's going to be a ball. So 3-1 count. Wanger did walk in the first inning. Might be walking again here. That was a good pitch. Full count. Ortiz has battled back. Good eye. Wanger battles back for the walk. He'll be on first with his second walk of the day. And Tanner Hipschman, who struck out in his first at bat in the first and hit a single in his second at bat in the first. The ELCO runners have been active on the base pass, so I would be interested to see if Wanger tries to steal here. He was about to put the oven mitt on, but threw it over to the first base coach. Picks it up now. Now he might be more interested in stealing. No, he threw the oven mitt back over to the base coach. It's high and outside for ball 2 to Hipschman. Coach is coming out to talk to Kayla Ortiz a little bit. That one was a little bit high and outside. I think they're talking about what their strategy might be, because Wanger's been playing some tricks over there, dancing a little bit, thinking about putting on the oven mitt, which is, those of you who might be unfamiliar, the oven mitt's just a glove that they wear when they're on the base path to kind of keep their hand together. It looks like a mitten. It helps protect the hand and fingers from when you're sliding into the bag, finger getting caught on it, or getting stepped on, or when they go down for the tag, you're not getting hit with it. So he does have that oven mitt on now. So that may have just been a little bit of a strategy to figure out what they want to do with Wanger on the base path and Hipschman up to bat with a 2-0 count. Another high and outside throw. Thought maybe they were going to catch him trying to steal that time. Now they put the mitt on, but it is a 3-0 count I'd probably take here if I was Hipschman. That one's right down the middle, so that tells me that that last pitch was a throw-out, thinking Wanger was going to try to steal. So it goes through Miranda and Serrano. It snuck through. It's what we call a seeing eye single, as it just saw its way through the infield there between Miranda and Serrano. Runners on first and second. Second hit of the day for Hipschman. Now Tice Boyer's coming up. He has walked both of his at-bats, but he's now coming up with runners on base with the guy on first and second. So we have Wanger on second. And Hipschman on first. Pitch was a ball, so we have a 1-0 count for Tice Boyer. He's actually walked twice on 8 pitches. As a foul ball, looked like it caught a little bit of the chalk, but it was just foul. Brings the count to 1-1. It's the first strike on Boyer all day. He walked twice on both 4 pitch at bats. That ball got through as it was. They're going to hold Wanger at third, brings bases loaded up for third baseman Austin Smith. Nice single there by Boyer. He has now been on base all 3 times that he has seen the plate. Now Austin Smith is coming up. He was hit by pitch and popped up to the second baseman in his first 2 at-bats. Ball's up in the air. Caught by the left fielder. Wanger's tagging. He's going to get in safely. The runners on first and second stay there. So nice sacrifice fly there by Austin Smith to get the run in after Wanger started with a walk. That is out number 2 in the inning. We have Braden Gettle, first baseman, coming up. So first baseman Braden Gettle's coming up. He grounded out in the first inning. He grounded out to the shortstop to first baseman, but he did score a run on that, and then he popped up to the second baseman. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Braden Gettle. He grounded out with the RBI in the first inning, and then he popped up to the first baseman. Excuse me, I missed that. I misspoke when I say he popped up to the second baseman. He popped up to the first baseman in his second at bat. So 1-0 count. There was a pitch out again as they thought they were going to get some people thought Hipschman was going to steal. Got Hipschman on second, Boyer on first. Gettle's batting 2-0 count after the sacrifice fly by Austin Smith. Ball 3. Again, Isaac Tanger coming off the bat. He has some power on him, so I probably take this pitch here and load the bases for our catcher. That might be what the coaches are telling him. That ball bounced in front of home plate and then hit him. So he will be on first. Hipschman makes his way to third while Boyer moves over to second. And Tanger's coming up. Bases are loaded. 2 outs. Going to be moving on contact. And you can get a force out at any bag. In the first inning, Tanger grounded to the shortstop, but it went off the heel of his glove, so he ended up being safe. Strike 1 on that pitch, and then he struck out in the second inning. He had a 3-0 count and then swung it 3 straight to strike out. Ball 1 there. One on 1 count, 2 outs. Swings through that one. Looks like he pulled his head out a little bit. 1-2 count. You can see Ortiz is going out of the windup because he knows he doesn't have to hold anybody on with 2 outs and bases loaded. No one's stealing. Ground ball. Nobody was covering third. They thought that was going to be the play. Serrano was telling Miranda to throw it over to first. Miranda wanted Serrano to cover third. So that is going to be a run scored. Now Wyatt Parker comes up, who you remember hit a home run his last at bat. So Boyer's on third. Gettle's on second. Now Tanger's on first with Wyatt Parker batting. Ball's up. Nice diving play. Excellent catch by our right fielder. It was Gianni Arndt who moved out to right field from second base. Made an excellent play to end the inning. Score is 10-0 or 10-1 in favor of ELCO. They're getting ready to go into the top half of the 4th inning We will have Ryan Rivera leading off. Micah Kraus will be second, and then Luis Reyes, the catcher, will be batting third in this upcoming inning. So that last inning, ELCO had 2 hits, 2 runs, and a walk. Sorry, 3 hits. Forgot the Tanger hit there at the end. So we're going to the bottom half. I'm sorry, going to the top half of the fourth. Looks like Wyatt Parker's going to be coming back out to the mound. They're just telling him about his pitch count and where he's at. We have Ethan Cook out warming up. Parker, his Tanger was on the base path, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to get his things on and get ready to go. Looks like Tice Boyer has moved over to left field for ELCO. Queston Rivera still out in center. And we now have Ethan Cook is out in right field. So we have Ryan Rivera coming up to the plate first for the Cedars. Ball is high and out of the zone, ball 1. Ground ball, Austin Smith has it. Over to Gettle. Gettle came off the bag but got the tag. Nice play by Gettle to come off the bag and ensure they get the out. Sometimes players will try to stretch and then they'll end up missing that ball and it goes out of play, but nice play by Gettle to come off the bag. So it's 5-3 on the putout now. Micah Kraus is up. Strike 1. Nice pitch by Parker. Ground out straight to Gettle. Unassisted on the putout for the first baseman. So there's a chance to be a real short inning for Parker. Catcher Reyes up to bat. 2 outs already. Ball 1 a little bit outside. Way out in front of that off-speed pitch. Brings the count to 1-1. Ball high, 2-1 the count. Ball bouncing in front of the plate, 3-1. Ball 4. He is walked. I did think it was a little bit interesting there. Parker was still going out of the stretch there even without anybody on base. Usually something reserved for when you have a guy on first or second, you're trying to hold them on. Maybe he's just more comfortable going out of the stretch. You see him out of the stretch again. Another ball. It's four straight balls for Parker now, with Henry Cortez's batting. Lebanon had some action in their bullpen. Cookie Rojas was warming up. There's a strike, so 1-1 the count to Henry Cortez. Hey, Seb. Out of the stretch again. Lands well short of the plate there. He's probably getting tired as he's now, in the fourth inning here. 2 outs in the fourth. 2-1 count. He's only pitched 3 innings up until this point this season, so. That's a strike. 2-2 count. Trying to get the end man out of this inning. Probably end his day on the mound for Parker if he gets out of this. Count is full now to Henry Cortez. He steps off to keep the runner on. Reyes stays at first. Ghetto's holding him on. Full count, 2 outs, top of the fourth, 10-1 ELCO. Reyes goes. It's a foul ball, though. Count stays full. Just heard the third base coach tell him, Reyes, he can go once the pitcher throws because it's either going to be a walker, strikeout, or a hit. And it's a walk, so he can slow up and get the second without sliding. Cortez is on with the walk. Ian Rios is now the batter. He's in for Gianni Arndt. Strike 1. 0-1 on the count. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Reyes is on second. Cortez is on first. Tanger doing a good job keeping the ball in front of him. Umpire's going to go clear off the plate. Strike 2, 1-2 in the count. Looking to get out of this inning without any damage. So the count is 1-2. 2 outs. Strike 3 swinging there. Nice pitch by Parker to end it. Got out of it. Had a little bit of a rough patch there with the 2 walks for the third and fourth batters of the inning, but ended it with a strikeout. No runs across, two runners left on base. 10-1 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. We're going to have second baseman Zach Martin coming up to bat, center fielder Queston Rivera, and then we'll have Ethan Cook, who will be in right field, came in for Grant Wanger. We moved Tice Boyer over from right field into left, but we will see Ethan Cook batting from right field in the bottom half of the fourth. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for Lebanon. It is number 1, Cookie Rojas. Still have Serrano at third. Miranda's at second. Miranda's still at short. Ryan Rivera went back to shortstop. Kayla Ortiz left the mound, and he's now back over at first. Henry Cortez is still out in left. I think Ian Reyes is now in center. So Ian Reyes is now out in right field. And Micah Kraus went back out to center from the mound. So a lot of changes. That's one thing you'll see in high school baseball. Players play a lot of different positions. They can be all over the field at different times. As evidenced today with Lebanon, they've been moving their players all over the field trying to find the best fit and getting somebody on the mound to help close out. After seeing a couple left-handers, we were going back to a righty with Cookie Rojas on the mound. We'll see how he fares against these hitters from ELCO who have been doing a really nice job putting the ball in play and allowing the wind to kind of do some of the hard work for them by carrying the ball, as we saw that with Wyatt Parker's home run in the second inning. We've also seen some fly balls that would be routine fly balls on a normal sunny, warm day without wind, but they were causing problems for the outfielders today. Zach Martin's coming up. He's walked and he lined out to the third baseman, Diego Serrano, in his last at bat. He did score in that first inning. After he walked, he did make his way all around the bases. We've had a lot of guys get on the bases and then been able to continue going, as we've had passed balls get behind the catcher Reyes, and after they've gone by him, if they didn't bounce off the hardwood, runners were able to advance pretty easily. Not any fault of the catchers, just the ball's going to the backstop and dying if it's not hitting the hardwood and coming right back to him. Umpire saying one more, telling them to get the balls in. We're going to do the throw downs, the traditional way to say, hey, we are ready to go. Throws down to the second baseman. Nice stab there. Simulate with when there's a stolen base. Like I said, here we go with Zach Martin, second baseman, leading off. Walk and a line out to the third baseman here in the bottom half of the fourth. Ball bounces in front of the plate. Ball one. And it looks like we're going to have a substitution for ELCO as well, as Landon Rhodes is currently on the on-deck circle instead of Queston Rivera. Strike one, 1-1 count. Strike two, 1-2 as he swung through that one. Ball two, 2-2. Ball three, full count. Battled back from being down 1-2 to get it full. Ground ball. Dribbles over here towards the third base coach. Good hustle by him. Nice play. Scoop up that ground ball and get it back in play quickly. Strike three, but the ball hit the ground, so he got to throw it down to first. Didn't get it, so it is a strikeout. However, he does reach the base, so it is no outs, but it goes in the scorebook as a K for the batter. Like I said, we now have Landon Rhodes is coming in, batting for center fielder Queston Rivera. We've got a lefty now. No outs. Zach Martin's on first. Ball one. High and inside, ball two. That one brushed Rhodes back a little bit. Ball three. Martin makes his way over to first with the pass ball. Makes his way over to second, from first. Three, no count. Strike one there. Landon was taking all day, so it's 3-1. Fly ball. Left field's going to be trouble. We're able to run onto that. Was Hene Cortez. Thought it was going to drop, but the wind did keep it carrying. Fly out to the left fielder for Landon Rhodes. Now coming off the bat, we have Ethan Cook. Strike one. The score 10-1, you might see ELCO start to make some more substitutions like this, get some of their younger guys some game time, see some live at bats. Strike two, 0-2 count, one out. Strike three. That's 2 outs now. Went down on 3 pitches. Tanner Hipschman, shortstop, coming back up. He struck out, had a single, and he has 1 run scored today. Rips one into center field. That is going to score the run. Zach Martin makes his way from second into home, standing up. 3rd hit of the day for Tanner Hipschman. And that one was an RBI as he brought Martin in from second. Have another substitution as Brinley Dunmoyer is coming in for Tice Boyer. Two outs, runner on first. Inside. Runner gets to second base. It does pass ball. Coach is coming out to talk to the pitcher, Cookie Reyes. Coach did tell the other infielders he just wanted this to be between the catcher, himself, and Cookie Rojas on the mound. They didn't want a whole team meeting in there, so must have been a quick message, but something that he just wanted him to have to help him get through this and battle Brinley Dunmoyer with 1 ball and no strikes, runner on second, 2 outs. Ball 2, 2-0. It's a strike that fouled off the umpire's mask. 1-2 is the count. I'm sorry, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. There are 2 outs. Hibschman's on second. He got there after a pass ball, and when he had a single that he roped into center field, scoring Zach Martin. Ball 3. Runner stays at second. Catcher was able to keep that one in front of him. Ball 4, good walk there by Dunmoyer. Thomas Forer is coming in for Austin Smith. Runners on first and second. Big lead at first for Dunmoyer. Ball's outside. Ball 1. I know they're not going to hold him because of having a runner on second, but he is taking a huge lead. You could throw behind him. For swings and misses at that one. Strike 1, so 1-1 count. I mean, if Ortiz snuck behind him, he's got a huge lead, and he is not getting back after the pitch. So it is a 2-1 count. Two count. Cookie's going to try to get out of this inning, only giving up the 1 run. Swings through a strike 3. Because there are runners on, do not need to throw it down first. Oh, said he got a foul tip on that, so he's staying alive. No contact on that one. That one is strike 3. Will end the inning. We had 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run, 2 strikeouts. So we're getting ready to start the 5th inning. We should have Cookie Rojas, who's now on the mound, leading off. He did hit a single on the first pitch of the game. Then he had a pop up to the second baseman in his second at bat. Wyatt Parker is back out on the mound, so he'll be taking on the 5th inning here. Landon Rhodes has moved out to left field for ELCO. Brinley Dunmoyer is taking over in center. Still have Austin Smith at third. Hipschman still playing shortstop. Zach Martin still at second. Cookie pops one straight up. Tanger's looking like he's under it. And he does get underneath it. Looks like we actually have a new catcher that is not Tanger. Diego Serrano's batting. He struck out in the first inning and he was hit by a pitch in the third. One ball, no strikes to Serrano. Parker's still on the mound. That's a deep fly ball. Right field's carrying, got a chance. That was into the bushes. That's a home run for Diego Serrano. So now both starting pitchers from today have hit home runs off of each other. And I think that's what he was just telling him. He said, I was paying you back for hitting the home run off of me earlier. That was a great swing and a great hit as it kept carrying to right center field. Just a little bit right of the scoreboard, brings the score at 11-2. Justin Miranda swings through that one, strike one. Strike two as he was looking at that one. Parker settling down after that home run. Ball one's low in the dirt. 1-2 the count. One out. Ball two, that was a little bit outside. 2-2. Ground ball over here, foul. This one here too. It's high ball. Ball three, full count. Thank you, Coach. Goes down swinging, strike three, out number two.
Up next, Cedars, number 27, Taylor Ortiz.
Kayla Ortiz batting. He's struck out twice today. Parker's had his number. Strike one. And after a while, you can see it in the professionals too. When the pitcher's got your number, they have your number. And then it starts to get mental. You think, oh, I can't hit this person. Strike two. I say it might be in his head now, thinking he can't hit Parker. That's now two strikes. He's already got struck out twice. Struck out the third time there. That time looking. The other two he was swinging. So that will bring the top half of the fifth to a close. The score 11-2 after the home run by Diego Serrano, which was a beautiful hit out to right center field. Parker's had a great game with 5 innings pitched, only 2 runs given up. So now we'll see if ELCO makes any other changes to their lineup, get some of their younger guys some more at-bats here facing live pitching. We'll also see who's coming back out to the mound for Lebanon. We do have pitcher warming up down there in the bullpen, has a hoodie on, so I can't see their number. Not sure who it is. Reyes is still behind the plate. Looks like Cookie Rojas is coming back out to the mound to start the 5th inning. The sun's finally coming out here. Might cause some shadows a little bit harder to see. I know, just saw Cookie Rojas put his hat down a little bit more because that sun is coming in right off the third base side. Could be hard if you have to throw it for the first baseman to see anything coming over from the left side of the infield. Especially since Ortiz is over there not wearing any sunglasses. Might be difficult for him if the ball is coming in from third baseman over by the line. Going to do 2 more warm-up pitches, and then we're going to get a batter in the box. It looks like it's going to be number 16, Owen Halpin, coming in for Braden Gettle.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning, number 16, Owen Halpin.
So Owen Halpin's coming up to bat. Swing and a miss on that first pitch. Looked like it lost speed a little bit out in front of it. Owen won the count. Ball outside, 1-1. Well out in front of the plate there, 2-1 the count. Two and two as he swung at that one and missed, so it is even count. A little bit inside, full count. Foul ball down the third base line, just outside the Regis Serrano. Ball 4. Halpin walks. Good at bat there, saw a lot of pitches. Batting now, Grady Auker, number 18. He came in for Tanger at the last thing. He's the one that caught that pop-up. Ball bounces again. Halpin's making his way over to second. You hear the coach tell him if he's on the ground on the right side, he's getting over here, running right away. Ground on this side, hold, and then go. In the air, he wants him to tag. 2-0 the count. Pop up. Nice play there by second baseman Ryan Rivera to stay under it. Brings up the first out of the inning. Wyatt Parker, the pitcher, coming up again. Looks like they are going to be making a pitching change. They're huddling. They're talking about all the positional changes that they're going to be making as they're bringing in the new pitcher. So we have a new pitcher coming in. Looks like it's going to be a right-hander. Be facing Wyatt Parker. Actually not sure if ELCO is going to keep Wyatt Parker in or not because it has a new batter. It almost looks like ELCO is going to be bringing in the pinch hitter for Wyatt Parker, number 31, Jonathan Zimmerman. Going to have a lefty to go up against the right-handed relief pitcher that just came in. Luciano Rincon is the the pitcher that came in. Looks like he does have some velocity and some power that they will probably be excited to have. See how that helps. It will impact, especially going up against some of the younger hitters for ELCO that they've been subbing in. Wind is still blowing out to the outfield as we've seen 2 home runs today, both the first home runs for the teams this season. We do have pinch hitter Jonathan Zimmerman coming in for Wyatt Parker. Looking at the warm-ups, this pitcher's been a little bit high and a little bit outside of the zone. Going to need to settle down, especially once we get a batter in the box. But here we go. Jonathan Zimmerman's coming in for Wyatt Parker. Still have Owen Halpin out at second base. Inside. Strike one. 1-1 count. Foul ball backing out of play. End of the road. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jonathan Zimmerman. Nolan Stout's in the on-deck circle, so he'll be coming in for Zach Martin. High, 2-2. Ball 3. Ball is on the ground right behind the catcher. Yep. Owen Halpin made his way over to third on that pass ball. The coach was hollering and hollering. Couldn't hear him. And I think maybe Halpin was worried because the ball didn't get far behind the catcher. However, Reyes didn't know where it was. And the coach could see it, so that's why he was calling Halpin to get over here to third. High ball for walks for Jonathan Zimmerman.
Up next for the Raiders, number 25, Nolan Stout.
Nolan Stout's coming in for Zach Martin. This will be his first at bat of the game. Got runners on the corners. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jonathan Zimmerman take second here. Infield's playing in, or the outfield's playing in, excuse me, which is tricky because if the ball gets in the air, it's going to carry. Stolen base. Halpin makes his way home on the pass ball. Zimmerman got to second. And that is how this one will end, as that is the 10-run mercy rule here in the bottom half of the fifth, with the final score being 12-2 as they scored on that pass ball to end the game. Good heads-up play by Owen Halpin to watch that ball get behind past the catcher and to head in to finish the game off. Excellent game played here for the ELCO Raiders on their home field. They worked hard. Wyatt Parker's going to... Lebanon just couldn't rebound after giving up 7 runs in the first inning. It was just really hard to come back from that. They weren't getting their bat on the ball the same way that ELCO was. ELCO was getting the bat on the ball, and then it was carrying. And that's all it needed to do on a day like today. The ball was carrying into the outfield, and then the outfielders were having a hard time picking it up. There's some miscommunications between infielders on pop-ups, and all those things just compounded together for an ELCO win of 12-2 here at Lyle Crawl.